Here we are. We are here in Bahrain. Would like to thank everyone for tuning in to Performance Racing League. My name's Spark. I will be your host for today's race. Quite a few people jumping into the pits here early. Steve to TV. Looks like he got out first. A lot of people jumping out of the pits here early today. Alright. Let's go on with Stevie here. He got out of the pits first. We'll go with his hot lap. Welcome to Performance Racing League Tier 1 Bahrain Grand Prix. This is round 2. Haytai passes Stevie. We're going to go on with Haytai as he looks to set the first lap for today's race. Bahrain has 15 corners and 3 DRS zones. Pretty quick track. We'll be looking around a 125, 124 range for these qualifying times. We got 4 racers on the medium so far. Williams, followed by JC, Dano, and Weird. Here comes Haytai down the back straight. Gonna set the first lap for us with a 126.3, followed by Steve to TV with a 127.4. T Whittle coming across the line, and he takes second with a 126.4. Young Amps shoots through pole with a 126.1, followed by Haytai. Barda and the Alfa Romeo with a 126.7. Razor Guy came 5th with a 126.8, but was beat out by the Williams of Lycos. Dano on the mediums, setting a 127.9. T. Darson pops up into 5th. All these times really close. Disgruntled with a 127.5. Will Lambs on the mediums, 127.7. JC on the mediums with a 129. Hank Bank rounding the last corner here. And he goes up into 9th with a 126.9. Terrible sets a 126.8. Avatari coming across. And he goes into 11th with a 127.2. Stevie the TV into the pits along with Haytide and T Widow. KDSX pops all the way up into 3rd with a 126.4. Weird coming across the line. Going for his hot lap. We're on board with Weir here. Weir DV, the reserve driver, one of them for today. Weir DV rounding the last corner here. See what he can do on the medium tires. And he's gonna pit. Impossible Bacon coming through turn 13. Couple people already going back out to get another good solid lap in. And Impossible Bacon goes 3rd with a 126.4. Young Amps on his hot lap, or out lap, sorry. One of the first to get their second laps started. Haytide just a bit ahead of him. Oh, and Haytide spins it in turn 12, hit the curb and lost it. Just gonna have to wait for that, for Young Amps to pass here. That turn 12, if you hit that right curb, especially as we seen yesterday in Tier 2's race, if you hit that curb, a spin is more than likely to happen. It's a tough corner. King IGD has yet to set a time. He's on his out lap. Weird DV has set on the softs. He went on a lap on the mediums, but now, after not setting that time, he tries out the softs. JC is still in the pits. He's the only one left on the medium run tires. We'll go on board with Young Amps as he tries to solidify his pole position. Young Amps flying down the straight. Yellow flag, sector 1. Doesn't look like anything. Young Amps coming into the last corner. He's going to come across the line and improve a little bit, I think by 5/10 or so. KDSX on the back long straight, coming into turn 14 and 15. See if he can improve. And he does. He takes provisional pole with a 125.7. Great lap by KDSX. T. Darson coming down the back straight now. Let's see if he can improve. And he jumps into the pits. Razor guy, tier 2 driver last season, got the promotion up to tier 1. Let's see what he can do on those softs. He'd be looking to go 8th. Solid lap from him. Ank Bank up in the 7th. See what Disgruntled can do. A little traffic in front of him. On board with Disgruntled here. Also, tier 2 driver last season, getting the jump up into tier 1. See where Disgruntled can go. Looks like he's going to dive into the pits here, and he will. On board with Reared. Looking at last week's results, we had T. Widow in first in our Australian Grand Prix, followed by Young Amps, Will Ams in third. He's currently qualified for 16th. He's going to want to, or 17th now. He's going to want to improve on that time as Weird DB goes second. Dano, 4th last week. Terrible in 5th. Stevie TV in 6th. Impossible Bacon in 7th. The Williams of Lycos in 8th, KDSX in 9th, and Heitai rounding out your top 10 for last week's race. King is just starting his hot lap. We'll go on board with him. He's yet to set a time here, with 4:15 remaining in the session. Oh, and King spins it, and that'll ruin his hot lap. Will Ams goes second, from 17th up to 2nd. That's a great lap for Will and the Haas driver. Let's go on board with Heitai. He just starts his hot lap. K-Tie's bailed out of his lap. Will Ames goes off the track. Turn 13. He's being followed by the Ferrari. On their outlap, both Ferraris. And Barta is retired. He retired in Sector 3 there, it looks like. G. Darson off the track, letting people go by. Widow's on his hot lap. Just look to see what he can do. T. Widow through Sector 2. Lots of people trying to get their final laps in. 50 seconds remaining in the session. King went 10th from 20th after he sets his first lap. T. Widow to the line. And he does improve a little bit into 6th with a 126.2. Young Ames coming through turn 12 and 13. Looking to improve with 20 seconds remaining. Lots of people on their hot laps trying to improve the time with the final minutes of the session. Impossible Bacon just crosses the line and starts his hot lap as Young Ames goes up into 3rd with a 125.9. KDSX rounding the last couple corners here, seeing if he can remain on pole for the start of this Bahrain Grand Prix. And he's going to dive into the pits. T. Widow's Impossible Bacon will go on board with him, see how well he can do, and see if he can improve on that 126.2. He's got a Renault in front of him. It's T. Widow getting out of the way. Great job there. Renault is off the track in front of Impossible Bacon here as he rounds the last couple corners, trying to improve on that time. JC, the only medium runner, qualifies with a 129 tonight. And Bacon up to the line, and he does not improve. He stays in 7th. Deneau dives into the pits. Bank into the pits. And Young Ames has bailed on his lap. And it looks like he's going to dive into the pits. And that should be all for today's qualifying. KDSX takes pole for Bahrain Grand Prix and is Williams, followed by Will Ames and Young Ames. KDSX, Will Ames, Young Ames, followed by Heitai in 4th. Weird DB, great job from him. Up in the 5th, T. Widow, last week's winner, in 6th. Followed by Impossible Bacon in 7th. Deneau in 8th. Lycos and his Williams in 9th. King IGD in 10th. Ankbank in the Renault 11th. Razor Guy in 12th. Stevie the TV in 13th. T. Darson in 14th. Terrible. Down in 15th. He'd be looking to improve on that. Barda, who retired in the session, down in 16th. Igadanis and the AlphaTauri in 17th. Disgruntled 18th. And JC 19th for today's race. We're going to give everyone a few minutes here to get their strategies set up. Yesterday in Tier 2's race, there was a safety car on lap 8. So in the comments, let us know if you think there's going to be a safety car either before that, after that, maybe lap 1, turn 1. Should be exciting. Alright, and we're back. Great comment by Rusty, Tier 2 driver. Turn 1 will definitely be interesting. True professionalism of Tier 1 on Turn 1, single file. Yes, absolutely. No one wants to crash out. You know, you've been practicing all week, usually for these races, so you definitely don't want to lose it in Turn 1, Lap 1, when you put in so much time and effort into trying to be the best racer you can be. For tire strategies, we're looking like a soft, medium, soft, depending on a safety car. I know yesterday in Tier 2's race, there was a safety car and it made a interesting race because many people opted for the harbs and they went on a one stop. And here we are starting a formation lap. KDSX, you know, make sure you don't go too far. We've had some issues with formation laps. We don't want to have those tires go cold. Watch the position change off the start here. Soft, medium, medium. Absolutely, that was one of the strategies given. Oh, Atai's been disqualified. Not sure what happened there on the... Maybe he got turned around or something on the formation lap there. But that's okay, he should start in 4th still. Soft, medium, medium, as I was saying, was one of the strategies that the game gave, but maybe depending on where you are, if you want to get that fastest lap, You want to make sure you're on the softs on those final stints of the race. There we go. There's predicted stop strategy. Soft, medium, medium for both. Pretty even there. We'll see how these tier 1 drivers take it and see if they change. Softs, tires. Okay, let's look at tires here. So the top 10 drivers all on softs, and then mediums and hards. We have 2 guys on hards. We got Razor Guy and Barda starting on the hards, and then the rest on mediums. That should be interesting off the hop here. You might be able to get away with a run stop, like Rusty said. A one stop could be the best option if you can survive and make those tires last, especially for the medium and hard runners. KDSX is up to the line. We're getting ready to form the grid here. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And they're off really quickly. KDSX gets a good getaway. Followed by the halves of Will.i.am. All into turn 1 here. Fairly clean. Will.i.am jumps in front of KDSX, but KDSX takes it back in the first turn. And we're off and racing here in Bahrain. Let's look at the position change off the start there. Heitai won't be happy with that start. He's down 9th, and we got a yellow flag. Down into 15th. He must have spun. And he's got all turned around with an Alfa Romeo Varda as well in the back. And they'll have some ground to make up at the start of this race. Stevie the TV will be impressed with his start. Up into 7th, up 6 positions off that. Very close start. We'll go on board with Will.i.am as he takes the lead from KDSX. Good weather, absolutely. It looks like it's going to be a dry, clear race all evening. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone had damage, but we do have sector 2 and 3. Heitai spun again, and he's not having a great start to this Grand Prix. Hopefully he'll be able to get back in it. Will.i.am set the fastest lap for lap 1. And Deno's, oh, we might have a timing glitch here. Deno is taken first, but Will.i.am's KDSX just passes Will.i.am's for first. Five-second penalty for Varda speeding in the pit lane. That's not a good start. You're going to want to avoid those speeding in the pit lane penalties. Put on the limiter early, as soon as you can. That'll come into effect later down the line in this race. So having a timing glitch here with Heitai in first. Yellow flag in sector 2, rounding that corner. Lots of cars, straight line here. KDSX only 500ths back of Will. And we're on lap 2. Very close race so far. Closest battle, I think, is here with T Widow as we go on board with him. Chasing down Weird DB. Using ERS, even he can pass. DRS has been enabled. There's 3 DRS zones on this track, which should make for a lot of overtaking and great racing. Williams 300s. KDSX trying to close that gap as soon as we can. Varda making the first stop so far. See these tires. Lots of traffic. Everyone's so close to each other at the start of this race. Oh no, and Deneau spun it on turn 12 and he's into the wall and he's got wing damage. Oh, that's not good at all. He's gonna let a lot of racers pass. Gotta watch when you re-enter the track there. And he's probably gonna have to pit. He went into the wall very hard there after hitting that right curb on turn 12. Young Amp with the fastest lap of this race. Deneau is gonna jump into the pits after that. King got a little squirrely there. Oh, someone lost an M plate. I think that might have been JC or Darson, as T. Darson goes up to the inside of King, trying to make that move, but he doesn't make it stick. Close with this 11, 12, 13 positions here. King is getting a little squirrely around those corners. Razor Guy up into 10th. Terrible in 9th. Impossible Bacon in 8th. We're starting to get a little spread out here. But close racing here between Stevie and Lycos for 6th position. As Bacon goes wide in turn 13. Lycos is going to look to use DRS on the straight here. Try to pass Stevie. They're side by side and he's got it done. He's up into 6th. T. Widow right behind Weird for 4th. He's going to use DRS to try to pass him on the outside. And he slips in behind him. Deneau, 3-second penalty. A couple 3-second penalties coming in here. Deneau. Track limits for Darson gives a 5-second. JC with a 5-second as well. Battle for first is really close here. KDSX right on the back of Williams' Haas. Virtual safety car. We've had a virtual safety car. Someone has spun, and I think it might have been Deneau coming out of the pits. Multiple warnings. Udonis, 3-second penalties. These penalties will definitely add up. And a drive-through for Deneau. Oh no, that's not great at all after he just pit for the hard tires. Gonna have to serve that within the next 3 laps. As Will Am's got a good getaway after that for VSC. He's up 700s on KDSX, who's slowly tracking him down. DRS, but Young Amps right behind KDSX. And JC is retired. Yellow flag in sector 3. Looks like he went off way wide over here into the... Must have run into the wall on those medium tires, and he's out of this session. Our first DNF of the race here. Yeah, unlucky for Dano, says Rusty. Bad day. But it's only 6 laps in. Try to push back. Got lots of time. Racing is very unpredictable. And Heitai gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings on track limits. Williams locks up a little bit. Weird TV tracking down Young Amps for third. All the top 5 really close. And then there's a little gap to 6, but top 5 really close. Oh, and Young Amps and Weird TV make contact, and both cars spin out. T Widow pops up into third because of that result, and Weird TV is dropping down very quickly. Tough incident there. Young Amps was able to remain in 4th, but he now has a penalty as pit windows are opening now. He's got a 5-second for that collision. Gap to the leader here. T Widow up into 2nd. Rear TV down in the 14th. Penalties. Fastest lap. Young Amp still has the fastest lap so far. 7 laps into this race. Stops. Almost half the grid have made 1 stop so far. Be interesting to see how and when people stop. So looking at the greatest winners and losers so far, we got Disgruntled up 10 places, Terrible up 9 places, and then Stevie to TV up 8 places, and then KDSX has fallen 11th places, and Heitai 12, and Dano 9. So tough racing so far, but lots of time left in the race. T Widow jumps into the pits. Looks like Williams is doing 1 more lap possibly on those soft sand tires. Same with Lycos and the Williams. Terrible up into 3rd after multiple people pit there. CV to TV right passing him. Looks like a little bit of contact. And Terrible sticks in 3rd. Razor guy close behind Stevie. Yellow flag in sector 1. It looks like KDSX and Ankbank. T Widow might have got caught up in that too. Closest battle on track is definitely Terrible, Lycos, and Stevie. 2, 3, 4 all within a couple hundredths of each other. So they come down on the back straight. Terrible locks up a little bit. Frosty here in the chat cheered on Weird as Frosty was unable to make this race. Tier 1 driver for the Red Bull team. Terrible on those medium tires, opts to stay out, and he's going to pass Lycos as Lycos has his ERS trying to maintain the position, but Terrible's got the move done and he's up into the 1st as Will Ames has decided to pit. Razor guy on those hards in 3rd, Stevie in 4th, Disgruntled on his mediums in 5th, a little ways behind. And Stevie's catching up on Razor guy right behind him. Closest battle on track, definitely this position here for third. Stevie doesn't get a great exit there, and Razor Guy pulls away a little bit. But 2, 3, 4. Really close throughout this race so far. That's around lap 9 of 29. Gotta watch the curbs there, you don't want to get no penalties. Go off the track. Razor Guy is making a move on Lycos in the final 2 corners here. And he's looks like he has the move done for now. Lycos looks like he's gonna pit on those softs, and he will. And Stevie up into third. Just front old KDSX. Lycos opts for the mediums here on lap 10 of 29. And Barda with another 3-second penalty. That'll add on to his time. Williams, fresh mediums here in 7th. Taking a look at the penalties real quick. 5 seconds for Darson, 3 for Udonis, 8 for Barda, HI and Dano with 3s, and King with a 5. Udonis just picks up another 3 second. He's now up to 6 seconds in penalties. Still a few people left to make a stop, but those would have been our medium and hard runners from the start of this race. Looking to extend those tires as much as you can and try to get on the softs, possibly for the final stint. Williams right up behind T. Darson as they go around turn 13. T. Darson pulling away with using his ERS, his KDSX, and Williams right in front of, and disgruntled, excuse me. KDSX makes a move and gets it done on right in front of T. Darson and Williams. Lots of battling for track position early on. And Williams gonna make the move, go on the inside. And looks like T. Darson hit the grass there, and Varda has retired in sector 3. Let's see if we can see that. He's off. Off into sector 3, and Varda, who's been the second DNF of this race, as we head on back up to Williams as he passes T. Darson. T. Widow's right behind T. Darson here. And we have a safety car. Ooh, interesting. Lap 11 safety car. Not sure why or how, where the safety car occurred. It might have been Varda. Or it looks like there's a yellow one. Bank drive-through penalty, speeding under safety car, not great at all. Those really add up, drive-through penalties. And that'll take a lot of time off of him. But he has 3 laps to serve that. I don't know if he has another one, or if that's just coming up again on the screen here. Be interesting why the safety car occurred, as Varda was not on the track if it was his car. Lots of people jumping into the pits now. Disgruntled opting for softs, Stevie to TV, and Terrible onto hards. Bank in the pits as well. Darson, Young Amps, all into the pits on the safety car. T. Darson to opts for softs, Bank for hards. As Razor Guy is in the lead behind the safety car as he started on hard tires. It'll be interesting to see when he takes his pit. KDSX right behind him on 4-lap old mediums. Will Ams on 2-lap old mediums. T Widow 3-lap old mediums, and Possible Bacon 6 laps. And then we Terrible and Stevie on fresh hards. Lycos on fresh mediums. I wonder how that will affect his race, being that he just stopped just before the safety car. Seeing if he can make those mediums last, or if he will have to pit. King IGD in the pits for the hards. Interesting strategies, to say the least, with a few soft runners and medium runners and new fresh hard runners for 17 laps remaining in this race. The front runners try to heat up their tires. Coming out of the pits there. Looks like T Widow might have popped out of the pits there. Or no, excuse me. Yeah, Razor 12, depending when the safety car goes in, if he's gonna opt for the softs. Around 9 or 10 laps left, Rusty thinks. Which is great. Yeah, you don't want to, you know, go too early and, you know, risk a puncture, or go too late and then kind of get thrown back into position, lose a lot of positions late in the race. Looking at the position or penalties here, Ankbank still has to serve that drive-through, which will definitely affect his race in the coming laps. Stops, everyone but Razor Guy has made at least one stop. Position changes here. Razor Guy up 11 positions, which is great for him so far. Terrible up 9. Whoa. So we almost have some contact there between Will Ams on the safety car and KDSX. And then Heitai won't be happy with this one so far, down 10. And Young Amps down 13th, but he opted to pit on that safety car. And lots of quick drivers here, so it should be interesting. Safety car is in this lap. And we're getting back up to speed here. Everyone trying to heat up their tires. Let's see if Razor can get away from TD or KDSX. They're really close here. Looks like he does get a good jump, but everyone really close here. Lots of cars coming into turn 1. Lots of people moving up and down positions. Razor did get a good jump out of that turn, and he has a solid lead for right now. Will Ams up into second as we pass KDSX. T Widow up into fourth. Lycos just passes Stevie for fifth. We got a yellow flag in sector 2. It looks like a blue Weird TV, blue Red Bull went off, and he's fallen back into 16th after that little mishap there. Let's go back up to the front. Really close racing here. Razor is looking really good as I read the comments from Rusty and Yuppie here. And his strategy absolutely could have worked out with that safety car, depending on when he pits, what he can do. Will Ams though on the mediums, fresher mediums all behind Razor is going to be tough for him to hold off. So Stevie picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. KDSX approaching the back of Will Ams. This Razor guy swoops through the inside. Will Ams goes way around the outside. And they've made contact. Contact there into the side of Razor's car, and Razor's falling and battling. Oh, into the wall! Will Ams and KDSX hard into the wall there, and they've both dropped significantly. And Will Ams is missing an entire front wing after that incident. KDSX also missing an entire front wing. I'm surprised there was. And then we have a VSC ignoring the yellow flag. 5-second penalty for Deneau. Surprised no one DNF'd after that hard crash into the wall. Wow. KDSX and Will are probably going to have to pit. Absolutely. There's no doubt. No wing as the Renault runs into Will of Deneau, the Renault. And it looks like he lost an end plate. He did. He lost his right front end plate. And that'll be tough on him. Those corners are tough, absolutely, with little damage, let alone no wing. So, definitely be tough for Will Ams and KDSX. But still 14 laps to go, lots of time. They can pit and get on the power. So we have a battle for 4th and 5th. All top 7 runners, really quick and really close here. Razor guy still holds that lead with 15-lap-old Harbs. T Widow right behind him as Impossible Bacon passes Stevie for 5th using his DRS. Arnold in 4th, Lycos in 3rd, chasing down T Widow. Two McLarens back to back as Young Ams passes T Darson. As the top runners come around turn 12 and 13. T Widow right behind Razor. Looks like T Widow shoots to the inside. Both T Widow and Razor lock up. T Widow trying to make the move. And on the medium tires, it looks like he's going to get it done with Lycos also trying to get past Razor, and he does. The tires might be falling off for Razor just a little bit after 16s as he drops down into 4th. Impossible on 11-lap-old mediums within a second behind him. Young Amps passes Stevie for 6th. Deneau and KDSX look like they're having a battle here. Really close racing. It's KDSX. Deneau gets by Will. Will changes for the fresh Harbs there, and KDSX as they both get their wing replaced. Popping back up to the front, disgruntled Lycos, T Widow, all within a few seconds of each other. Sector 1 yellow flag. Will Ams is off, and he falls into 17th. And Deneau picks up another 3-second time penalty. Disgruntled. Stevie to TV. Gets by T. Darson as they're battling. T. Darson on the soft tires. Gets back by Stevie. But they're battling through these S's here. Yep, he says he would pit if he was Razor on this next lap. KDSX fastest lap of the race on the harbs with 1:30. T. Widow. Solid lead on Lycos and the Williams, followed by Disgruntled. But Disgruntled will more than likely be having to pit again on those soft tires unless he can make them last. I don't think he can make them last. Razor Guy's 17 laps. Let's see what he does as he comes around the final turn. And he is gonna pit. Hatai back up into 8th after falling and spinning early in this race. Go back up to the front, our close runners here. Disgruntled catching onto Lycos here. Razor Guy does go to the mediums. Interesting strategy. I don't know, with 10 laps remaining, if he had a set of softs, maybe if softs were used in quali, and he might not had a fresh pair of softs to go to for these final laps. But the softs will drop off sooner than the medium, so he's hoping to get that pace. He has that pace. Deneau here, and Iguodana's battling. As T. Widow picks up a penalty, that throws a big wrench into the standings here. 3-second track warning penalty for T. Widow, and that pulls Lycos and Disgruntled in front of him, and Young Amps as well. Really close with that time penalty. Deneau gets the move done on Iguodana's. Stevie gets by. That's T. Darson's into the pits. And Lycos picks up a 3-second penalty. And Lycos and T. Widow are battling. Very close racing here. Weird DV picks up the fastest lap on his mediums at 129.8. Fastest lap of this race so far. As T. Widow right on the back of Lycos. Disgruntled right behind T. Widow. Gets a good exit. Using ERS trying to hold that position. T. Widow goes to the outside. Around the outside. And T. Widow's got the move done. Nice move there for T. Widow as he passes the Williams driver. T. Widow jumps into the pits. Sector 2 yellow flag. It looks like we have a Haas. The Haas of Will Ames causing that sector 2 yellow flag as Lycos picks up another time penalty there. Let's look at the penalties here. 6 seconds for Lycos. Young Ames jumps into second. Terrible in third. Terrible has a 5-second. Stevie has 3 seconds. Hatai with 8. And we have a safety car What happened there? Will Ames was DNF'd. He must have threw it into the wall. And there's a safety car that was in Sector 2. We'll be able to see it here. Might be cleaned up. Gotta be careful you don't get a 5-second penalty here, speeding under safety car. Yeah, into the wall there. You can't see the car, it's gone, but Williams is DNF from this race. Drive-through for Razor Guy. That's not great at all there. He's gonna want to serve that as soon as possible. Looking back at the tires here. Young Amps without a penalty. Lyko speeding in the pit lane, 5 seconds. He's up to 11 seconds of penalties. Yuppie in the chat, definitely hurts at this point so late in the race, and I can't agree more. Definitely those time penalties or drive-throughs really hurt, especially under a safety car. You gotta watch your delta there, as quite a few people jump into the pits. Intermediates. King IGD has opted for intermediates. Maybe we do have some rain on the way. Interesting. As King and Heitai come out of the pits there. But no one else has opted for intermediates or wets, so interesting. Young Amps in 4th on fresh mediums, Disgruntled in 5th on fresh mediums, Lycos in 2nd on fresh softs, but that 11-second penalty will be tough to overcome in the final laps of this race. Stevie is in first on a 9-lap-old hard, so it'll be interesting to go 7 more laps if he can hold off the front runners behind him on fresher tires. The inters have to be a mistake. It might be, unless he ran out of tires. If he used them all, because he did have a spin. He did have a spin in qualifying, so maybe his tires are all shot. The mediums, hard, softs. But looking at the tires, they are green. They're intermediates on the car. Unless he goes into the pit again and changes. And yeah, it looks like he's going to dive into the pits there. It might have been a mistake by the pit crew. And that'll be definitely frustrating, as a couple people did know King into the pits, Razor Guy into the pits for softs. And they're all on softs, King, Dano, and Razor. As people try to heat up their tires here on lap 23 of 29 in Bahrain. Penalties here. Couple 3 seconds in the middle. 11-3 for Stevie. 6, and Razor still has to serve that drive-through because he can't do it on a safety car, which will be interesting for the end of his race. Young Amps has made 3 stops. King IGD with 4. Iguadanis with 3. Dano with 3, and Razor with 3. And then Stevie, the only one on a 1 stop. We'll see if he can hold on. Position changes again. We'll look through this. Disgruntled up 13. Very good racing from him so far. Stevie up 12. And then looking at KDSX down 10. And then Deneau down 7. And the safety car is in this lap. We'll go back to the front runners. See who can get a good start once the safety car is in. So they come down the back straight here. And Stevie has a pretty good jump. Lycos right up beside him. Yellow flag stuck to 1, 2, 3. Lycos down in 4th. Stevie up in 1st. Lycos back up in the 2nd behind him. As they go through turn 1 and 2. Lycos right on the back of Stevie's. And he's not going to pass. Or is he going to pass on the inside? He's right up behind him. Lycos trying to make a pass on Stevie. It's T. Widow and Possible Bacon. Young Amps dropping down the field a couple places. T. Widow right on the back of Impossible Bacon looking for that podium of 3rd. As Lycos goes up to the inside and passes Stevie. So we catch that on board on Bacon's camera there. And Lycos on the 1 lap softs has pulled away from Stevie. Possible Bacon on the back of Stevie now as they come down this back straight. Razor Guy passes King for 15th. Young Amps drop down the field. He's now in 11th. King and Razor battling here as they come across. And King doesn't have a front wing, it looks like. Little glitch on my screen. It didn't look like he had a wing, but he does. He's all good. King with a 3-second there. Deneau with a 3-second penalty. So we have a sector 1 yellow flag, and it's Haytai dropping down the pack as he spun. Stevie was dropped into 4th, and Possible Bacon got around him. Closest battle here. Terrible in 7th, looking for 6th with Disgruntled right in front of him. Terrible on the sauce here, going to the inside. And he stays behind him. Closest battle on track, Terrible right behind Disgruntled, looking for 6th position. As T. Darson just ahead. As Terrible is looking to pass. And T. Darson looking to pass Stevie just ahead of him. Going into the final corner here. Side by side racing. Good racing. No contact there. Terrible looks to get a good exit. And he's passed Disgruntled. As Iguadanis passes Disgruntled as well. Flying into turn 1 here. Lots of drivers. T. Darson fighting with Stevie for 4th. Ferrari Terrible passes T. Darson as he shoots up the inside of both Darson and Stevie. Great racing from Terrible there as both Ferraris in the top 4 right now. Iguadanis right behind Disgruntled as Disgruntled takes that position back after he lost it on the front straight there. Oh, little contact there. Bank 3-second time penalty there. Lots of drivers with penalties, gonna really affect the outcome of this race. It's to know weird, really close battle here. as they come in through turn 13 into the back straight. Disgruntled and Stevie battling here for position. Disgruntled went a little squirrely there, but he's right behind him. ERS deployed. Stevie trying to hold on to 6. Disgruntled tries to go on the inside around him. And Disgruntled has a move done and he's up into 6. And he gets a good exit there. Rear DV right on the back of Stevie. As the AlphaTauri of Igudanos comes on the inside trying to look for position. Very close racing here as we come down to the final few laps of this race. Ankbank and King exchanging positions here. And that little hairpin. Very close racing here. .14th all the way up into 6, all within a few seconds of each other. As Weird gets by Stevie. Stevie on those 14 lap hards. He's off the track. And he gets back on. Lycos with a solid 1.4 second lead on T-Widow. He does have a lap of fresher tires. Impossible Bacon 4.2 seconds behind T-Widow. And then Terrible catching up to Bacon as he's on 5 lap old softs with 2 laps to go. Darson falling behind. Young Amps and Stevie battling here through the S's. Stevie, Deneau on the back of Stevie. Stevie's off the track, and Deneau gets that move done. Igudanos right behind Stevie now on the soft tires. Can Terrible get this podium? He's really close behind Bacon. One of the closest battles on track here. When we're approaching turn 12, we've got to keep it off the curbs here. Back up to 8, 7. Igudanos really closing in on Stevie there, and he gets the pass done. KDSX gets the pass done. Sector 3 yellow flag. That's Stevie's gone off the track. And Stevie has left the session. Terrible goes down the inside in turn 1. No contact there. Close racing here. Impossible Bacon, 3-second time penalty. That's huge as Terrible does not have a penalty. And Terrible gets the position anyway. Terrible could very well get this podium. We got to remember too, Lycos has an 11-second penalty, so this could be a 1-2 Ferrari win in Bahrain. 3 seconds for Widow, 3 seconds for Bacon. T. Darson could very well pop up into 3rd with those penalties in play, depending how close he can get on Bacon, as King picks up another 3-second penalties. Yeah, hard racing, absolutely. Yep, you hate to see him get a penalty on that. Absolutely, it would have been nice if they were even grounds here. See where it would have happened. As we come in to the final corner, Lycos is going to cross the line first, but with his penalties is going to drop significantly. T-Widow into 1st. Terrible coming up to the line. And he's into 2nd. Impossible Bacon up into 3rd, or T. Darson overtakes him for 3rd. Impossible Bacon in the 4th. Lycos in 5th. Disgruntled 6th. Young Amp 7th. Weird TV with a great comeback there up into 8th. KDSX 9th. Ankbank 10th. Haytai 11th. King 12th. Dano 13th. Eagerness 14th. Razor 15th. Great race there. Lots of close battles on track. The Ferraris take 1-2. Terrible driver of the day. Absolutely great racing from Terrible. T. Widow, T. Darson. Great racing all around. 1-2 Ferrari. Definitely the ones to beat, as that's the second back-to-back win for T. Widow. He came first last week in Australia. So T. Widow, one to beat in Tier 1. 2 back-to-back victories. Great job, T. Widow. As we recap here, T. Widow followed by Terrible, T. Darson, Impossible Bacon, round out the top 4. Lycos in 5th, the Canadian Disgruntled in the Red Bull 6th, Young Amps 7th, Weird 8th, KDSX 9th, Ankbank, Haytai, King, Dano, Razor Guy, Eagerness, Stevie, Will Ams, Barda, and JC. The last 3 there did DNF. Great racing from all. My name's Spark. I hope you enjoyed this race. Tune in a few minutes for our Premier Performance Racing League as they race for the Bahrain Grand Prix. Thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day.